But anyway, so I guess like to kick off our conversation, let's talk about the biggest news of the week, I think. Like or among like some of the really big things. See, that's the real wonderful thing about the Trump presidency is that, there could be a whole bunch of like big giant things, but like it seems like a lot of that stuff just seems to take a background uh, section to the shit he does. So
Yep.
I think like the biggest thing concerning Trump was the Bob Woodward leaks.
That's what I thought you were going to say. I have to
Yeah,
admit, I have not been keeping up on the Bob Woodward stuff. I just know that it hasn't been good for him.
I only know two big ones. There's the one which he told him, "Yeah, I knew it was going to be a dangerous pandemic."
I did hear that.
Yep. And I talked about that with James. And by the way, check out my conversation with James Russell. It was amazing. Um, but the one that that broke like right after that was that he also told Bob Woodward that he basically saved MBS's ass when it came to the Khashoggi thing a couple years ago.
I heard that.
MBS is the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and Khashoggi was a Washington Post journalist. He was also a permanent resident of the United States, even though he was born in the Middle East. He was brutally murdered a couple of years ago in a Saudi consulate in
Mhm.
Istanbul. I think it
Uh-huh.
was. I think it was somewhere in Turkey. But yeah, it was basically the guy had been super critical of the Saudi prince, and so everyone automatically assumed it was MBS who was responsible for it, and that is the most likely uh, conclusion. But yeah,
So
like
Mhm.
Donald Trump like said like he protected like he was bragging about how like bragging to Bob Woodward that he was like he covered for MBS. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Is what I said to James. Like if you want to go after him for collusion, go after him for collusion with the Saudi government.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, just there's no woe to this guy. Just holy shit. I don't know what to say there. I mean, anyone with any sense would keep that to themselves until, until they were buried 6 feet underground.
Yeah, and also like the thing is, I don't know what Trump was thinking when he was talking to this guy. Bob Woodward already wrote a big tell-all about him.
Yeah, and that was only 2 years into his presidency. Now he's done like way more shit. Why is he? Who advises him? Who advised him to do this?
Well, the thing is, like Trump, he does whatever benefits him. He has no like guiding ideology other than himself, right? And and judging from like the rhetoric he like with foreign policy, for example, that he expressed on the campaign trail, and then like what he did afterwards, which was like the exact opposite. He is one of like if you can get into his ear and convince him to do something, as like telling him that it will help him somehow, he is willing to do it. So like I think maybe there might have been something like that in here. I honestly have no idea why he would talk to Bob Woodward again after.
Seriously.
Like it's so confusing.
He complained about Bob Woodward all the time when the book was released.
Yeah,
And he just fucking sits down for more interviews with him.
and wasn't it Bob Woodward who pretty much like destroyed the relationship between Donald Trump and Steve Bannon? Was that book?
I
Or maybe
don't.
that might have been Fire and Fury.
It was definitely around that time. It could have been Fire and Fury. That was Wolf's book, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. It was definitely around that time, 2018-ish.
it was Michael Wolff. I was about to say Richard Wolff, but yeah.
I was thinking Michael in my head. I wasn't.
Yeah. Richard Wolff is the great uh, Marxist economist.
Oh, that's right.